Hi there, my name's RichyHo's and I'm going to take you through the features of my current development project called RichyHo's Rack Planner. It's currently at version 1.13, we've got a long way to go yet, but there's been a lot of interest online in what this thing can do, so I thought I'd put together a video to show off the main features. There's another video on YouTube at the moment, video number 1. That's a bit low quality and I missed out on a few things that hopefully I'm going to pick up on this time. So bear with me if you've watched that one. This one should hopefully teach you a couple of more tricks that the software can do. What you see on the screen at the moment is a representation of 2 rows of Euro rack. So that's 6U of 84 HP Euro rack. Well, I guess the first thing to do is add a module to it. So if we click on Add at the top, let's add a Harvestman module. Let's put in the Bionic Lester. When we double click it, it arrives at the top left hand corner of the currently selected rack. So when we click on it, the first thing you'll notice is the HP ruler at the right hand side shows we've got 71 HP of free space left on that particular rack width. As we move the module across, that number decreases, and on the left hand side we see how much free space there is on that side. What you'll also notice is if I move the module down slightly, there's a green area. That's showing that the area underneath the module is clear of other modules and it's safe to drop it there. So if I was to let go of the module here, it will jump into that space that was previously occupied by the green rectangle. Same as if I drop it down here, exactly the same will happen. So it's just showing you the clear to drop the module. So let's add another module. Let's add a Hertz donut. There it is. And let's add another one, a piston Honda. Okay, so we saw the green areas before. Now if we move a module over another one, you'll see it turns red. And at the top you can see that this module needs 15 HP of space, but it's only got 11 available in that current position. But the system's clever enough to know that really where I want it is to the right of that Hertz donut. So if I let go here, it'll fall into position. If I let go on the other side, it's got nowhere for it to go. If you look, we've only got 7 HP there and 10 there, so it's always going to flick back to where it came from. So what that does is it makes it really easy to line modules up. I can just roughly drop them into position and they snap in nicely. You're never worried about whether you've missed an HP or whether you've got overlapping modules. Okay. So one of the nice things, it's purely cosmetic, is that when we click on a module and move it, the screws come undone. If you look at the Lester, it's got 4 screws in at the moment. Move them around, drop him back in, and he gets bolted back into the rack. Okay, so let's have a look at patching these things together. Even though this is a rack planner really designed for sort of mapping out where your modules are going to go, it also has patching functionality. The way we access that is by holding down the control key, and you'll see that the mouse pointer changes from an arrow into a yellow cross. So all we've got to do is position it where we want to come from, drag and drop. There we go, so that's put in a patched lead. It's only yellow for my testing purposes, it can be any colour you want, and they will hopefully look a bit better than they do at the moment when I'm finished with them. At the moment they're just to show off the functionality, or show the functionality rather, I'm not trying to show off. So let's put another few cables on. Please don't worry that I'm connecting inputs to inputs or whatever, it's just to show how this works. So we've got that module connected to that module connected to that module, and we're just going to connect this one back in here again. So that's with all our patch cables on. Now what happens when we move modules around? Well, the patch cables stay in place. Well, they stretch, I guess. So even if we move it to a different part of the rack, the patch cables stay exactly where you put them. Now this rack planner isn't limited to just one rack. You can have as many as you want really, and I've got another one just to the right of it. You can't see it at the moment, but you can scroll across just by clicking an area of the desktop, if you like, the background here, the grey area. We can move across. You'll see there's another rack there. We can also zoom in and out. If we use the mouse wheel, we can zoom out to get more on screen. There we go. You can also move racks relative to each other, so if I grab this rack on an area of empty space, I can move them around put them on top of each other or wherever you actually want them. So this can actually mimic your own setup. We can zoom back in again, or out even. We can zoom back in again and out. So what happens if we decide we want to put this module, our piston Honda, into our other rack? Well, simply you drag it across and it maintains the patch cable connections. So I'm grabbing it, I'm dragging it, I'm dropping it. Same with this one. So you can patch between racks. So let's say I want to join another one of these up. Let's grab that one there, up to here, and then grab that down to there. They just stay joined up nicely. Not sure about the patch cables going behind that rack. Probably shouldn't be doing that, but that's something I'll fix in a later update. Okay, so what else can this thing do? Well, not just Euro rack is the answer to that. If I zoom right out now, there's some racks I've prepared down the bottom right hand corner nicely. So let's grab one, let's grab this one here. And zoom back in again. Maybe the holes on that will give it away what this one is. This is a buchla rack. It's a 4 width buchla rack. So we add a module into this. We're going to go and choose a buchla one. Let's have the 250, nice and big. And it just drops in there, same as the Euro rack one did. Again, you can see the HP rulers and the green square showing where it's free to drop. If I try and drag this into another rack, it goes dim. It can't be dropped into another rack of a different format, and that just makes sense. So you have to drag between like format racks. Okay, we can patch between different formats. So if I wanted to patch my buchla in, which is, as you know, has got banana plugs on it, banana sockets rather, to something in Euro, we would need to put in something that translates those. So let's put in a make noise, whatever it's called, I forget, format jumbler. That's got both, so we're going to patch from our buchla into a banana and out from a standard jack, 3.5mm jack, back out again. So now we've got those linked. Let's add another format. What else have we got? Here we've got a .com. So if we add in synthesizers.com 106, it's working exactly as the other formats, and it's patchable as well. So now, if I zoom out a bit, you'll be able to see that all these racks can be repositioned while maintaining all of these links. If I want to delete something, right click on it, it selects it, makes it blue, press D on the keyboard. That kills it and all associated patch cords, but leaves everything else intact. Okay, one other mode I didn't mention so far, and probably should have mentioned this earlier, is free drop. Just going to zoom back into the Euro rack. Okay, if I add another module in, let's put in something that hasn't even been released yet. There we go, IntelliGel audio interface. As we showed before, or as I showed before, you can't drop it in there because there's not enough room for it. If I turn free drop on at the top, I can put it where I like. You'll see that the preview box, rather than being red or green, the drop zone as I call it, goes white, and you can drop it in anywhere. You'll see that's highlighted the last, 3 HP, was that something like that, of the module, showing in yellow, showing that there's an issue there, which needs to be sorted, but not right now.